Hi, Andrew Cooper, Advice for Living Financial Planning. This video is just for those of you with Colonial First Choice accounts or Colonial First Wrap accounts, whether they're investments or pension or super. I've done this video just for those of you with Colonial because over recent days you would have received a letter from them with two subjects in that letter. One is about a fee that is now going to be applied to the cash accounts in your super or pension or investment, and the other one relates to advisor fees. Now, first thing is this fee for the cash account. Their argument is that they're being sold off from the Commonwealth Bank, and so somehow that now magically means they need to put a fee on the cash account. I don't understand why, and no one I can talk to seems to understand why. So short story is they're applying a fee of 0.45% for the moment, although they have said it could go up to 0.85% applied to the cash account in your super or pension account or investment account. Against that, they are saying, well, it won't affect the return. The return is 0.1%, and they're saying that it won't affect that for the moment. So what for the moment means, we don't know. What that means for us is that we will be looking at your portfolios at your next review to decide if that 0.45% makes a difference and if we could actually get you a better deal somewhere else. Obviously, we're not happy with the idea of Colonial doing this, but they are a very large organisation, and like many large organisations, they seem to do whatever they want. I would like to move people away from Colonial where I can, because we've been quite unhappy with them, but the other side of it is that over a long period of time their fees have generally been quite low, and so even though it might not suit us, if the platform is quite good and the fees are relatively are low compared to others, then that's in your best interest, and so that's why we've left people there. But as I say, we will be reviewing that at each review and deciding whether or not, as I say, there's a better deal elsewhere. So nothing for you to do there other than be aware that that's what we will be doing. So we'll be chatting with you about those fees. Second issue on that letter that you will have received relates to advisor service fees. And I mean, I've read the letter and it seems relatively complicated, as seems to be the way with things that come out of Colonial. So I suppose to try and simplify that, the background is that the federal government has made changes to the arrangements for advisor fees in superannuation and investments, and they've made it sort of at both ends of the arrangement. So they've done things that mean that advisors have new requirements in terms of getting agreement to advisor fees, and also the fund managers themselves now have a separate requirement to get approval from the client to deduct the fees. And the requirements for each of them are in some ways different, which is mystifying and frightening and frustrating, but there you go. So so again, the thing I suppose to emphasize is that you actually don't need to do anything at the moment, but what will happen is as of the 1st of July, as we start having reviews sort of next financial year, is that even though you can sack us at any time and we will turn off all fees straight away, what has to happen now though is that we have to get you to agree to renew the fee every year, to renew our agreement, and so there will be a form for that. But the funds also have a requirement that you agree to the deduction of fees for advisors from your account. Now, what we had hoped and our back office, along with the back office of a number of other advisors, had started working to try to get all of the super funds and the investment funds to use a standard form, so that we could all so it didn't matter where you were invested, we would have a standard form, and that could have been automated, which would have simplified the whole process. Now, not surprisingly, the fund managers all decided to do pretty much their own thing. Colonial, not surprisingly, because that's how they work, have got their own form, which is an additional form. So what it's going to mean is that when we meet with you, we will have a form that we will be legally required to have you sign, and there will also be one from Colonial as well, which we will then have to send to Colonial, which is frustrating and annoying and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, now as part, there's an additional bit to this, which is the only thing that you actually need to do, and that is when we meet with you for your review next financial year, what will happen is the date we sign it will now become your anniversary date for these things. And so if we sign it today, then we have to have it signed basically by the same date next year in order to remain as your advisor. So the trouble is, of course, with those of you, particularly those of you that are retired, hopefully next year you'll be away on holidays at some stage. So the one thing we will ask of you is that when we have a review with you in this coming financial year, is that if that review is at a time when you sort of will normally be away on holidays, if you say, look, we normally go to Queensland, Northern Territory, wherever, in August or September or January or whatever the date is, we're normally away at this time, then please tell us that, and we will do stuff to amend your date so that we're not trying to contact you in future years at a time when you'll be away. So that's the only thing we really need to do. As I say, when we meet with you for the review, there'll be extra forms. Unfortunately, there is nothing we can do about it. That the government has been lobbied endlessly about this and either doesn't understand or doesn't care, and I suspect it's probably both of those. So, as I said, disappointed that Colonial have once again decided to make things complicated for us, but that's the way it goes. So anyway, that's the letter that you've received. They're the two things that it's about. You don't need to do anything. As I say, we'll be checking to see, we don't like the 0.45%. We'll be looking to see what the impact is and if we can get a better deal elsewhere. And as I say, the advisor service form, you don't have to worry. We will arrange that for you. But as I say, it is important so that now when we do meet with you, you'll understand we are on it. We are working towards a particular date. And if we can't get those forms signed by that date, then basically we can't be your advisor anymore, which is really annoying. Hopefully there will be simple electronic ways to do it for those of you that we don't always meet with in person, but the government has given us very little time to implement this, and so we'll see how we go. They're making it up as they go along, and so we will hopefully, as I say, there'll be something that'll make it nice and simple, but we'll see. Anyway, any questions, do please give us a call and we will answer them to the best of our ability. You can talk to either Alison or myself about this. Alison has been working very hard on the complexities of the dates and that sort of stuff, and so she can talk with you about that. Whereas if you talk to me, I'll just complain about how crap Colonial is in terms of their service. So there you go. Anyway, any questions, do please let us know. Thanks.